we are extremely honored to have with us today the Secretary, Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Srimati Nidhi Khare. Welcome, ma'am, to the show.
Thank you for having me here.
To begin with, every year National Consumers Day is celebrated on the December 24th. So what is the significance of this day, ma'am?
It is a very historical day because it is on this day that a legislation was carved out specifically to safeguard and protect consumer rights. It is this day that it was passed by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and it became a new legislation to basically identify consumer rights, to identify what were unfair trade practices, and to also provide a speedy redressal for solving consumer grievances.
In the year 2023, the Department of Consumer Affairs issued official notification regarding the regulation of dark patterns, and it was done to curb the deceptive practices on the digital platforms. So how crucial is this, ma'am, for the consumers?
See, as the trade and commerce have they have evolved, what has happened is that now we have e-commerce on which is playing on a very large scale. Now consumers are also far more literate than before. So what we noticed was that even when consumers are aware about their rights, they understand that they have to take an invoice, they understand that they have to first read the label before making any, purchasing any product. So despite this, the e-commerce entities have employed some algorithmic based ways and means in which they can dupe, they can deceive the consumers, and they can also manipulate its choice. So we were able to identify 13 dark patterns which are very commonly used by e-commerce entities, and some of these are I'm sure all of us are familiar with them. So for example, if there is a false urgency which people normally use, if you go and book tickets for your flight, you'll see randomly but most commonly that they will say that only 2 seats are left. Or if you are booking for hotel rooms, again 2 seats left, last 2 seats left, and such other things are there. Now this creates a false urgency in the mind of consumer, and he feels that he has to immediately make this decision. So he throws caution to the wind, and he just jumps into the trap. And therefore this is something which we found that even after say 10 minutes or 15 minutes later, the same caption comes, 2 seats left. So how is it possible that if the consumer has already booked, and so it should have been ideally 1 seat left, I mean if it was a plain simple information. Then again we found that in the e-commerce entity, particularly when you are booking your tickets, there is a very popular game which is called confirm shaming. So they are basically trying to guilt trip the consumer, and you want to book a ticket, a flight ticket, they will offer you some travel insurance, 499 rupees or 599 rupees, a very small amount. Now there should be 2 choices, yes or no, but you'll often see that the choice is yes, and the second choice, which should be ideally no, in place of no they say yes, I will risk my family, or yes, I will risk my life. Now there the consumer gets completely confused that I don't want to risk my life, so probably either he will just go in for booking that travel insurance which he did not need perhaps, and because there is no clear cut no say choice, the consumer is actually getting manipulated in deciding for a yes. So this is also very commonly used by e-commerce entities. Then there are other e-commerce entities who are using some other say dark patterns like basket sneaking. Now what does it mean? Most of us are now buying our groceries from e-commerce. So you have about 10 commodities or products which you have listed, and suddenly you find 11th one. It could be a toffee, it could be a chewing gum, it could be a hairband, anything, just for 5 rupees. You didn't need it, but you have paid for it. Now the amount is so small that you don't even want to register a complaint. Neither you want this to be refunded. So when it is done on a mass scale, you can see that the e-commerce entity is manipulating the choice of the consumers and selling something which he did not need. So again, this is a violation of consumer right. It is also an unfair trade practice which is being used. So these are the deceptive practices which are being used by e-commerce, which we call dark patterns, and we came out with guidelines to prevent and prohibit their use. We identify 13 dark patterns as unfair trade practice, and we've also started taking action on some of the prominent e-commerce entities who were found to be employing these dark patterns. But additionally, we have held meetings, several rounds of say stakeholder consultation, where e-commerce entities were also invited, and many of them of course did not think that these are dark patterns. They thought that these are some market gimmicks which they have employed, and we have given them 3 months time to self audit and make sure that none of these 13 dark patterns are employed by them. And about 26 e-commerce entities have turned up and said that in their self audit they have not, they have at least made sure that their entities are not using dark patterns. We have sent notices to about 36 such entities, and we are taking action. Some of them have also been penalized. So from the Central Consumer Protection Authority, which is authorized to take class actions, we have taken these 36 cases against some of the major e-commerce entities who were found to be using dark patterns.
So ma'am, we've been listening about this term CCPA. So what does this term mean?
CCPA is Central Consumer Protection Authority. It has been set up after the amendment of Consumer Protection Act 2019. So it was set up on 24th July 2020. Now these were COVID times, and the authority noticed that a lot of say companies were selling their products by saying that if you use my paint, if you paint your house through my commodity, you can shield yourself from COVID, or if you wear these shirts, then you can safeguard against COVID. And we found that these were misleading advertisements. So CCPA started class action by ordering them to discontinue this misleading advertisements. So CCPA basically looks after class action, something where individual complaints are not entertained, but from the National Consumer Helpline we are able to trace patterns of similar complaints about one product or service, and then we understand that actually a certain marketing strategy is being utilized by the company to mislead the consumer or to go for unfair trade practices. So the Central Consumer Protection Authority takes action against violation of consumer rights, misleading advertisements or unfair trade practices, and in such cases where consumers are impacted as a class.
As per the recent reports, 90% of the complaints that are received through the National Consumers Helpline are being redressed. This clearly indicates that it has established itself as an efficient means of preventing the consumer's rights. So how can a consumer lodge a complaint And what are the redressal mechanisms of this National Consumer Helpline?
So, of the 6 consumer rights, one right is to seek redressal and to make sure that whatever complaints you are raising gets a speedy redressal. We have in our country redressal mechanisms both at pre-litigation stage as well as the litigation stage. So, at a pre-litigation stage, when the consumer raises his grievance for replacement or refunds or some such things, we have provided a state-of-the-art toll-free number at the National Consumer Helpline, which is 1915. Any consumer who finds that his consumer complaints are not getting redressed by the manufacturer or from where he had bought the commodities, he can immediately, he can through various means, either through website or through apps, which also includes NCH app, Umang app, even through WhatsApp, you can lodge your complaint on the NCH 1915 portal. Now, we only need your invoice, so this has to be uploaded. There are call agents who take your grievance if you want to speak to them and not write it down, but they can also help you. So, between 8 am to 8 pm, these call agents take your complaints. After 8 pm, the online is free, and then there are chatbots who also help the consumer in figuring out what their complaint is all about and in registering in such a way that their redressal is faster. We have a convergence plan with most of the industries, and about 1150 convergence partners are there. So, the moment we receive the consumer complaint on 1915, it is immediately escalated to a higher level at that company. So, we have tried to see that not only 90% of these complaints get satisfactory redressal, but we have also found out that the time that used to be taken to redress the complaint has also been reduced from 45 days to about an average of 21 days. And in some cases of e-commerce, for example, it can be even less than 24 hours. In fact, in one of these crises that Indigo, cancellation of flights was happening, one consumer got his refund, full refund of his tickets amount in barely 2 hours. So, it only goes on to show how NCH is actually helping in redressing the consumer grievance. Now, I must also say that no fees is collected from the consumer. So, it comes to the consumer without any cost. Then about 17 languages, NCH can take your complaints. It can be written, it can be, we are using AI tools in say translating voice to text. So, our redressal is also faster, the number of filing has increased, and this also shows the credibility of NCH is also building up in providing quick say redressal. And you will be surprised to know that from March 2025 to November 2025, we have been able to process a refund of 43 crores. So, this is without any, at a very nominal cost to the consumer, so to say. He did not have to go around offices, he did not have to waste his time, he did not have to pay any registration fee, nothing of that kind. So, about 43 crore refunds have been provided to consumers who had registered their grievance on NCH 1915.
Ma'am, we've heard a lot about Jan Sunwai. So, could you please brief us about what this initiative is?
So again, when we felt that through the digital platform of NCH, we have been able to solve, problems of innocent consumers, we thought that why not start Jan Sunwai, so that the stakeholders, if they have any concerns with regards to legal metrology, with regards to Bureau of Indian Standards or National Test House where the testing is done. So this is on a weekly basis. We just we have fixed days and we have the fixed time slot, and again there is no fee for entering. Anybody can simply walk in, and it is done virtually. So people, the stakeholders could be industries, the stakeholders could be our license owners or our registration owners, importers, it could be dealers. Anybody can simply join us on this virtual address, and my senior officers are there to redress their grievances. So this is also becoming very, very popular, because people feel that many times they just want to inquire what is the correct way, and there is nobody to guide them. So when they are interacting with senior officers of the department and of BIS and NTH and legal metrology, they can be guided correctly in doing something, or if they have any clarifications to be sought, then they can very easily get the best guidance. So it is becoming very popular. Some of the frequently asked questions, we've also tried to now put answers to that, so that anybody who has any say query or seeks to have any clarification, he can just read the answers on the FAQs, so that he is well versed with his subject, and he need not wait for Jan Sunwai to be clarified.
And the use of fake ISI marks, this is a very important problem, or we can say a very concern that is being raised. So what are the remedial measures for the consumers in this regard?
Now, use of ISI mark is basically a guarantee for quality, and most of the consumer durable goods which have been under say mandatory quality control orders, they are required to have a display of ISI mark. In some cases, the manufacturer also wants to voluntarily use the ISI mark, even when by law there is no requirement for going for mandatory control orders. So this is basically a guarantee to the consumer that the product at least fulfills some basic thresholds of standards. It is very advantageous to the consumer when he makes a choice. When he goes to the market, he sees, okay, he would rather go for a safe product, and therefore ISI mark guarantees that quality assurance to the consumer. So many manufacturers, they feel that ISI mark can also be used without adhering to the standards, and therefore this is fake ISI mark are also imprinted many times, and this misuse of ISI is treated very seriously. So BIS has very, very strong provisions to take out such goods where the manufacturer has used ISI mark in a fake way, and we have many examples. You must have heard how BIS team went to some of the major warehouses of e-commerce entities, where it was found that certain goods were being sold with fake ISI mark stickers, and therefore they have been seized. These goods have been, the manufacturers have been taken to task. In the ministry also, we tried to raise awareness about ISI mark, and therefore two goods were taken up. The use of pressure cooker, where there is a mandatory use of QCO and use of helmets. Again, these are very, very commonly used by Indian households, and therefore we started a campaign against fake use of ISI mark on these goods. We've taken action against many e-commerce companies who were found to be selling pressure cookers without ISI mark, and we have also, CCPA has imposed penalty on e-commerce entities and has also been able to delist more than 13,000 such listings of pressure cookers which were being sold without ISI mark.
I think a consumer can verify the authenticity of the goods and the products that they're using, and also lodge a complaint through the BIS Care app. So how do you think that this Care app is a one-stop solution for the consumers?
See, it is, first of all, it's very easy. You can just download BIS Care app on your mobile, and when you make a decision to buy something, you can just enter through the ISI license number is there.
Right.
You can immediately fill up that number, and you will come to know about the detailed information about the manufacturer, who is the packer, or if it is an imported item, then what is the who is the importer, and such other things. If the number is being used fictitiously, then naturally it will caution you that it is a bogus product.
So ma'am, what is the message from you to the audience at large?
I would like to say that consumers should be aware, and they should not shy away from registering their complaints. At a pre-litigation stage, you have NCH 1915, which is very easy to reach. At the litigation stage, you can go and file on e-Jagriti, and so let us actually build a very strong ecosystem for protecting consumer rights in our country.
Indeed, ma'am, this conversation was very insightful, and it will help us to be more righteous in our choices and our actions as consumers. Thank you very much for being with us here and sparing your time. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.